So over the past week, we've had black people come out and express their fears of being around hood people. We've had hood people come back and respond, back and forth for a few days. And let me just let y'all know that I absolutely love it. I love it. And the reason why I love it is because people are expressing how they truly feel. There were a lot of things that needed to be said that were said on both sides. And to be honest, from all the comments I read, nobody's lying. Everyone has a valid point. And I love that it's being spoken on because like one person said, you can feel it when you're around people. I don't know how many videos I have speaking on this type of stuff. Y'all already know what I've been on. Bringing black people together. Men and women, black families, black people of different backgrounds. Not only have I been saying it, but I've been saying it from different vantage points. I did a video saying any black is black enough because hood black folks try to control blackness. I did a video on how educated black people use their education as a weapon instead of a tool. I just did a video not too long ago speaking on how we do everything to separate ourselves, but there will be no distinction in a time of conflict. If we found ourselves under attack, the people that are attacking us would not care what degree we have. They would not care what neighborhood we grew up in, or not for that matter. For one, let's make it clear. Even though I live what most people would consider a good life, I'm hood as fuck. And I don't say that like it's something to be proud of or to wear it as a badge of honor. I say that because I'm not ashamed of where I come from. It's no fault of my own, just like not being from the hood was no fault of your own. I identify with people who come from the bottom because I've never forgotten what it felt like to be at the bottom. I don't care what I attain in life. I will always have an affinity for the children growing up in those circumstances. There's not an aspect of hood life that I'm unfamiliar with. But like I said, on this one, everybody is right. We don't like to admit it, but there is a hood mentality. But a person that's in the hood has to make it out to even understand that. Have y'all ever seen someone stuck in a hood mentality? I know several people like that. It's the reason for my "It's Summertime, Get the Kids Out the House" video. It's the reason for my "Crip Mac is the reason why you need to get out and see the world" video. Because while I understand it's not your fault that you have that mentality, you're just a product of your environment, you can't control where you were raised, it's sad as fuck watching somebody in their mid-30s, 40s, 50s walk around with that mentality. Y'all ever seen someone who's still gangbanging in their mid-30s? That's sad as fuck. The only solution to that is getting out the hood as early as possible and experiencing different things. And this is where social media has a positive effect because you're able to interact with people from different backgrounds, different cultures, and you're able to communicate more effectively outside of your realm because of that. And see, people who didn't grow up in the hood have to understand that we talk the way we were taught. Many of us only know how to speak proper English because of school. When we go home, that's not what we hear. It's damn near like we're bilingual with the same language. But only hood and non-hood people are mocked for how English rolls off their tongues. When I say hood, non-hood, I mean hood from the perspective of non-hood people and non-hood people from the perspective of hood people. If a hood person hears another hood person talk, they're not going to have an issue with the way they talk. If a non-hood person hears another non-hood person talk, they're not going to have an issue with the way they talk. But if either are around each other, they both will mock each other for the way they talk. And it's funny because if you take a person from England, from Jamaica, from New York, from Louisiana, from Chicago, from California, and you give them all the same sentence to speak, they're going to sound 6 different ways. And we're going to call that an accent. But when it comes to hood people, it's not an accent. It's not speaking proper English. And when somebody goes in a hood speaking proper, now they're talking white. I don't know how many times I have to say this, maybe because everybody else is having a conversation. We might come to this realization, but we're the same people. There are a lot of people from the hood that are good people, that if you invited them to dinner and they came and sat at your table, you'd be delighted to invite them back. And there's some non-hood people that'll show up to that barbecue and wear your ass out on that spades table. Proper English and all. We may not be able to articulate things the same. We may be concerned about different things in life. But I promise you, we all want the same. But like I said, I am glad that our people came out and spoke their piece on this. Because you could really feel it when you're around someone that they are not fucking with you. There's an aura that makes you feel unwelcome on both sides. But the real question is, Are we listening? Are we trying to understand what's being said? Are we trying to bridge that gap to create better work, social, and business environments? Or are we going to continue to brand ourselves to the rest of the world as different types of black people? I've said it before, I'll say it again. Any black is black enough for me.